here at the luxury supercar rental. It is considered the biggest car rental company in the Middle East, and if not in the world. And behind me is a 1 in 500 Bugatti. I just finished interviewing Ahmed Mansour.
When it comes to luxury segment and supercars, we are the biggest.
Okay, and he takes us through the journey. People would assume that you had an easy upbringing.
To be honest, I came from a very, very tough upbringing. My parents were in public housing. My mum has a disability where she couldn't work. So to try raise 4 kids, very hard. It was very difficult times for us.
And you hear about the mentality, the mindset, the struggles, and the challenges that took for him to get to the point he's at today.
Things changed when I was around 18 years old. I took life more serious. I'm not gonna go and party. I'm not gonna chill with friends. I wanna focus on my future.
What's going on, guys? We're finally in Dubai like we promised, and we're here with Ahmed Mansour, also known as Ahmed Amwell. Thank you for having me here, my brother.
You're most welcome, my brother.
So when I first heard about you, actually we're in Canada and we were fascinated. You know, like we were looking and we're like, wow, this guy's making big moves. He's an inspiration. So we figured, why not come down here and have an interview with you? So thank you for having me here.
With pleasure, brother.
Thank you. So I wanted to say, I mean, bro, like the cars that you have here are remarkable, mashallah. And I was like, how many cars, do you know how many cars you have here?
To be honest, we have about 100 cars plus. Now, we had some total losses. We did upgrade some of the fleet, and we're still, I don't keep track anymore.
Okay.
Because we add 2-3 cars a month, and then we lose 2-3 cars a month. But it's fluctuating, but it's over 100 plus.
So is it safe to say, from what I've observed, is it safe to say that you're one of the biggest luxury car rental in the world?
I think we are. Like, I've gone online, I've checked out other companies in America, Miami, Texas, Canada. Many rental-car companies, they might have more cars in terms of mid-range cars, like maybe 100 C-Class Mercedes or something, like Sixt and all those big companies. But when it comes to luxury segment and supercars, we are the biggest.
Okay, so we're dealing with the biggest and the best here.
Alhamdulillah.
So I noticed there's a lot of amazing, activity, and a lot of. I noticed there were some big celebrities that came in here, but I think what's more important, what's more fascinating, because you are an inspiration, you're quickly becoming a global inspiration. A lot of people would assume that when you have like really nice vehicles like this, people would assume that you had an easy upbringing.
I get that a lot. Also, that people that they put it in my comments on TikTok and stuff like that, that hey, he's daddy's money, rich kid. To be honest, I came from a very, very tough upbringing. My parents were in public housing. My mum has a disability where she couldn't work. My father was working for the government. He was on a salary, so to try raise 4 kids and bring in all the money, it's very hard. It was very difficult times for us. And then at times where I used to take my mum's money, like her last pension, her check, and then go get McDonald's with it, or go spend it with the boys as a young kid, growing up 16, 17 years old. Man, it wasn't easy. That's
incredible. You know what? And I feel like that's why we connected so well. Relate to your story very much, growing up in government housing. And there were times where we were losing hope. When do you feel was the time where things changed?
Things changed when I was around 18 years old. I took life more serious. Even though I was already working 16, 17, but at 18 I had a bit more savings. I took life more serious. I'm like, I'm not going to go and party. I'm not going to chill with friends. I want to focus on my future. I can't live the way we've been living for the last 20, 30 years and how my family is living. I want to make something out of it. My parents came to Australia and then they got comfortable. They weren't thinking outside the box. They were like, okay, we have a home. We have a shelter, coming from a poor country and poor village, where they're from in the village as well, in Lebanon. So it's like, I don't want to have that same life. And I see people around me, like I used to watch people grow, and I used to watch people in Canada and in the United States, and how these people get their money, how they have private jets, how they have this. So I started to do research. I started to, didn't do any courses or something, but I just focused on saving and trying to hustle on the side and take advice from older people that had money. Yeah, things like that, man.
I think it's such a big important thing that you said that I noticed that you mentioned in this conversation is that people assume that by having vehicles like this, there's a party life to it, and people have to understand that actually those who do party, they're choosing it. For the successful people I know, they party and they choose to do it as a form of marketing in order to promote their brand. So, for example, one of my friends, Ghost, he's always out because the people who buy his fashion, he's out there and he's attracting that audience.
That's part of his business.
Exactly. So knowing that you got that awareness at an early age, there must have been, usually there's a trigger of challenges that happen that lead you into that. And it's very impressive to see that you've actually, you thought about, okay, you know what, I need to make change. Some people they're in their 30s, going into 40s.
Still the same spot.
Still the same spot.
People that don't know back home, still in the same position, probably worse. One of the big reasons as well, in Australia, gambling is a massive thing there. So a lot of people, because there's nothing to do after 5, 6 p.m., everything is sort of closed. So what they do is there's nothing else to do besides go to a casino that's open 24 hours. I was too busy focused on, and I seen them lose their money, and I'm seeing them going downhill because they had money, they were making money. And then I seen them doing that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to do the same as them, because if I do that, I'm going to end up like them, and I didn't want to be that. My friend used to tell me, bro, like, how do you have all this? Like, even when I was young, I always made money. So like, I had a bit more than all those guys. I'm like, because you're enjoying your life while I'm working my ass off. I would love to be in their position and go out and party with girls and whatever. But if I did that every single day, there's no way I'm going to be here.
Absolutely. You know what's crazy is that a lot of people would assume now, okay, you got all these vehicles, you can chill out. I've been here on a weekend. I remember the first time I came to visit you, there were no cars.
Yeah, it's chaos.
There were no cars here. So I was like, okay, when I meet with him, we do this interview, it's going to be during the week. But that being said, just because you have these cars, it doesn't mean it's going to they're just going to be off the lot. It's obvious that there are other people who were here before you.
Look, in the rental-car industry, there's over 3,000 companies in the Middle East. In Dubai, there's over 2,000, yeah. Luxury segment, maybe 200. When I came in the market, like every time they used to buy a new car, I'm like, damn, I need to catch up. I see him buy a new Ferrari, I'm like, oh, I need more money. So I busted my ass off, like working late nights, to the point if there was a breakdown, I'll go and attend myself. It might be a matter of no fuel in the car, but obviously the client didn't know.
Yeah.
I used to run around like crazy, sit at home on my laptop till 2, 3 in the morning, like wake up in the morning again, back in the office. And when I was on the computer at home on the laptop, checking what the competition's doing wrong, going through the negatives of what they're doing wrong so I can fix it on my end to make sure I don't have that same problem. And just checking, like I had some updates on our websites, for example, checking what's out there, pricings, what we can do to the market, to impact the market. I can't tell you all my secrets here.
No, of course, don't. Yeah.
But I did a lot of things to sort of be competitive in the market.
Yes,
we came out strong.
Yeah.
People used to say we're brokers, that we have no cars. People I told one guy I used to rent cars from that I'm opening a company here. He's like, oh, survival for the fittest, instead of telling me Mabruk or we could have worked together or anything like that. Some people hated on us, and we still have a lot of hate, but only from other rent-a-car companies. The actual people that rent from us and everyone else in the market that has nothing got to do with rent-a-car love us. Just that the people in the same industry, they're either threatened by us or they don't like us for no absolute reason.
Recently I was saying is this is a little bit of on a spiritual side, but I was telling someone, listen, no matter how you feel about someone, you got to understand that God has a plan for everyone.
100%.
The moment you try to interrupt, no matter how you feel about a person, you try to interrupt someone's journey, you're trying to interrupt God's plan. So you're trying to plot against God.
I agree with that.
What is happening here and what's happening with you, there's no doubt, with the way you've made me feel so welcome, I wouldn't doubt that people, the return customers, and the reason why is because of the way you treat people who come here.
Look, I am very humble. With all my success, someone in my shoes probably won't be as humble as I am. People that think they have money, they think they're better than others. I don't think that, because I've been from nothing. I came from nothing. And if you forget where you come from, one day you might end up back there. Yeah. So I try my best and my hardest to be friendly, be nice to people, give an extra helping hand. If someone needs any assistance or guidance, I had 2 people walk in yesterday from Romania. They flew here with their mum just to come and see me, for example.
Wow.
They came and took photos of me, and they're like, "Oh, my dream car's a McLaren." Mind you, they don't have that much money. So I seen him taking photos of the McLaren. He's like, "Can I sit in it?" I said, "You know what, boys, take him for a drive in it."
Wow.
Took them for an hour drive each.
Wow.
They came back. One of them was actually crying. To them, it's something crazy. Like it's a dream for them. For us, we've had it. So, you know, and I've been in positions like that before. My dream was to jump in a Bugatti. Even when I moved into Dubai, I'm like, my friend had one. I'm like, "Oh, can you just take me for a drive in it?" Now I've got one. Like,
sometimes that's all it really takes. You know, what's crazy is we had a friend we grew up with. They would go to car dealerships
Yeah.
and they would sit in there, take photos and
Correct,
put it on
yeah.
Instagram. And a lot of people were making fun of them. But then now he has a lot of these cars. And so I always tell people the power of proximity is
chase your dream.
is amazing, that you give these kids a chance. The reason why he's so emotional, because you broke that ceiling. We all live with these negative thoughts. You know, most of our thoughts are generally negative, no matter how successful you are. And I always tell people it's the amount of thoughts that you put that are positive, that sort of that start shifting your life. And the fact that you did that for these kids, you know, it always comes back. It always comes back.
He told me, "How can I repay you for this?"
Wow.
He told me like 5 times. I said, "Bro, I don't want nothing. God will repay me."
Yeah.
That's exact words what I said to him.
Yeah.
And there's another guy in here. He's like, "Man, you're a nice guy." Like he was right next to him and he heard what happened. He just met us as well. He's like, "Man, you're super nice. You just done that gesture for them." I'm like, "Look, man, it's not gonna." My workers did it. They went and drove him. It didn't cost me nothing. I put a smile on someone's face, which is most important. And I'm sure you be good to people. And if you believe in God, bro, you always, like, He tends to give you more.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? We've all faced struggles. We've all faced, I've been poor many times and I've lost everything many times. But like, you know, I think now, alhamdulillah, like, when people say you're lucky or whatever, man, it's God behind you, man.
Yes. And it's, you know what, it's your threshold, your willingness to go that one step further, to take that bigger risk. Like for myself, when I was coming out here, we naturally have family members saying, "What sort of projects do you have lined up?" Because, you know, I've been here for some time, staying near the Burj Khalifa, having a car, going out. And I'm like, "I'm going to create something." And they're like, "But you don't have that luxury." I said, "Well, when God or life, you know, whatever you believe in, sees that you have that trust that there's going to be a positive outcome, that going all in." I can imagine you still till this day go all in, right?
You don't understand. I swear to God, all in isn't the word. My manager that works for the company, he goes, "You've got balls of steel."
Yeah.
He goes, "I have never seen anyone go that deep into things. Like, sometimes, man, I can blow everything in one day.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing money in the account.
Yeah.
I like to spend it. And what am I spending on? I'm investing in my companies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't just have the rent-a-car. I have many other companies in Dubai, plus real estate. But like, even if I need, say, 5 or 10 million for a project, and so I've only got 8, I'll still buy it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll figure it out. I've always figured it out. I'm like, worst case, I'll sell a car. Worst case, I'll do this. But I've got through that. Those stages are gone now. For me,
Honestly,
alhamdulillah, I'm way ahead now.
This has been, so far to me, this is like a masterclass for people to understand that going all in, you're always going to learn. There were times where even in the toughest economy, I went all in. I've lost so much money. I had a family dependent on me. But those learning lessons that you go through, those feelings of feeling, you know, a little down and trying to come back up, those are the learning lessons that help you excel.
100%.
But what I wanted to say is, now if we shift gears a little bit, I can't deny the fact that when I first became aware of you, you had some celebrities come by here.
Yeah.
And so who are some celebrities that have rented from you?
We probably had over like 30, 40 celebrities come through the door, from actors to sportsmen, to people like professionals, rappers, a lot of rappers, some actors, from...
I know you don't want to name drop, so should we tell them just check out his Instagram, or is there...
No, I don't mind naming some names. Like, we've had Tiger, we've had French Montana, I've had Offset. Last week I had Bryson Tyler. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Some of them I don't even know who they are. I'm like, okay, just give him a car, sort him out.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes we've had, Rick Ross we've had, Tory Lanez we've had, the list doesn't stop, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Sway
I know.
Lee, Rich the Kid,
So that's amazing. Like, you know,
Gunna, Little Dirk. We've given them
Wow.
all cars. Pretty much every celebrity that comes through Dubai, especially the rappers, they all come to us.
And obviously, I know dealing with celebrities for so long, being in the entertainment business, one thing I know for sure, which is something you know, but we want the audience to know, is the way you make these people feel. They're all somehow connected, networked, and say, listen, you got to check out my guy. It's not going to get
100%.
weird. You know,
So basically, we give them a 5-star treatment, probably better than they get treated back home, even when they or anywhere in the world where they fly to. So basically, we organize everything for them. We give them the chauffeur, we give them the car. We speak to our friends that own restaurants here as well. We cater for them as well, like 5-star restaurants. So they have the whole thing at once. They jump in the car with our drivers, or they want to self-drive. It's up to them. We take them to the most fanciest restaurants. Everything's on us. Cars on us.
Wow.
And then obviously when one of their friends want to come over, they'll be like, hey, hit up Ahmed. Go
Yeah.
ring out to him, reach out to this guy. He'll look after you. We had the baby shot a video clip in my showroom.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's amazing. And you know what?
So like I used to watch him, you know, Lamborghini,
Yeah,
Rockstar,
yeah.
and all that. I'm like, he's in my showroom performing.
Who's that?
The baby.
The baby. Oh, no way. I'm watching him on the video right
Yeah,
there.
That's the video shot in my showroom.
Oh, he shot it right
that's in my
here.
showroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite songs.
Like for example, that's the stand behind you.
Yeah.
So basically, I was here till maybe 6 a.m. man.
Wow,
Hanging
that's
out
a
with the-
sick. That's a nice turnout
like,
video. I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah,
that's
so many things, yeah.
and so like behind me, the
right behind you.
obvious, the
Right behind you, yeah.
the animal, the
Yeah,
beast,
that's the beast. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bugatti.
The Bugatti, yeah.
How many Bugattis are actually in
The
Dubai
UAE,
right now?
in Dubai,
Or UAE?
I don't know because
Middle
look,
East?
there's many people that collect them and
Okay.
don't tell people. There's many people that own them, never drive them.
Mm-hmm.
But in Bugatti Chiron, there's only 500 made. That's one of 500. And then there's obviously the super sports and all these other models that they make.
I'm seeing Andrew Tate right there.
Yeah.
So he paid you a visit here.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours. We've known him now for like 3.5 years, 4 years.
Wow,
Sends us a ton of good clients,
amazing.
VVIPs. He doesn't rent cars, but every time he's here, we cater for him with whatever he needs. We make sure, even for his cars, I get him service for him. I get him the RTA like renewals and stuff done for him. Honestly, he's a top G.
Yeah.
He's got some people that hate him, but we love him. He's done nothing to us. So sometimes you got to judge the person yourself and actually meet someone before you can talk about someone. A lot
Yeah.
of people just, you know, what they see on the internet and they just put a name on him. But that's life in general, you know.
He's definitely, you know, for those who have some level, you know, of emotional intelligence or experience in life and its challenges, he's definitely, and not to talk too much about it, but he's a class act, because what you realize about his journey is something as all of us entrepreneurs kind of see in our journey in regards of being misunderstood, but we always understand that our character, we always remember that our characters was going to outshine and outperform whatever is being said about us. So this being a podcast about money and fame, we want to give the different perspectives of money and fame. Some people, it's a driving force. It's everything to them, and you know, others feel like it's a tool, it's a byproduct. So I wanted to know your perspective on the money and fame that you seem to have achieved.
I never thought I'll be where I am today, that's for sure. And even with the money I have now, I never thought I'll be this rich. But alhamdulillah for everything. And fame comes and goes, money comes and goes. Most important is a loyalty, respect, and being humble about everything in life. The money and fame together does push you to another limit, where I know a lot of famous people that don't have money, they just got fame and they live off everything for free. But and they can make a lot of money, but they just don't know how to control their money. In my perspective, man, if you've got money and fame, it can take you to the next level. And my word of advice for anyone that's watching this podcast as well, money does bring fame also, because you start to network with the rich and famous, and then it's a different sort of network when you're on that level. So you only meet people on your league. You understand my point? Like,
Yeah,
I went and had a
absolutely.
coffee once, and we were sitting down with these guys on the table. They were out of my league. You know, they were buying 300-400 million dirham properties at a
Wow.
time, buying the whole building, where I was only buying a full floor. But networking with these type of people, it drives you and pushes you to get to their level.
Yes.
And with the right network, they might support you on your next build. They'll be like, you know what, Ahmad, let's take half the building and you can join us on this one. And then you build by networking. And of course, being famous, it does bring you more supporters, and it brings you a lot of things that you can. For example, I can open a clothing brand right now, post it, people will buy my merch because of who I am, and I'm already famous. So it does give you a big boost.
Yes.
But to get to my level where it took time. Like 2 years ago, I wasn't where I am today, and in 2 years from now, I won't be where I am today. You understand
Absolutely.
my point?
And
It's
God,
persistency and to be consistent with everything you do. Pray, save your money, don't throw it on rubbish, and network with the right people.
nice. And God willing, you continue to have more success because you've been great to the community, to people around you. You've given us a chance to interview you here. And just so you guys can keep in mind and remember is that proximity is a big deal. What he was just saying is that don't hesitate to rub shoulders with people who can inspire you. If you isolate yourself, if you're being antisocial, you're really focused on the social media and stuff, it doesn't help your personable skills. Work on meeting people, put the effort of serving people initially, and over time you'll have the dust from their magic will rub off on you slowly. So honestly, Ahmed, thank you so much for having us. We're so happy to be here. I might sit in one of the cars, do a little Instagram
Whatever you
stunt
want to
a
do,
little
brother,
bit.
this shop is yours.
Thank you.
I'm glad that I met you as well.
Thank
You're
you
a very
so
nice
much.
person.
Thank you.
You're from my country. I'm happy to see someone successful as well.
Thank you so much.
And obviously, you probably came from the same upbringing that we probably had.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure about your history, but I like to see brothers trying to help other brothers out.
Thank you
And
so much.
Even me being on this podcast, a lot of these guys are your viewers. You know, it probably gives them a message as well to, you know, like if you put your mind to something, you guys can achieve, you know, whatever you want to dream, you can actually achieve it, you know.
Absolutely. And you're a perfect example of it. It's probably a given. It's obvious. You're very prevalent online. But where can people see your updates and about your new progress?
I post a lot on my Instagram. I'm very active, and also on my TikTok. So it's Ahmed Amwell on Instagram and on TikTok. YouTube channel's coming soon. We are expanding the business. We are leaving from these premises. We found something massive, something mega project. Don't want to talk about it right now. We signed last week for the project. It's getting built as we speak. So we'll be out soon, and podcast room will be there, and a YouTube channel will be there. So people can actually, they'll know what a day in my shoes will be like every day. So
Yes.
I'll be following them through everything. I'll be taking off a bit time off work, and they're going to be watching all my stories of how my growth is and how I do the business, how I run things. So yeah, keep tuned. YouTube will be out soon. My Instagram is my main page that I'm active on. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And we'll be sure to, as soon as he gives us the YouTube link and everything else, I'm sure you'll find it without us even letting you know. But make sure you guys stay updated with him. It's obvious that now he's in the phase of his life where he's giving back. He wants to inspire, and truly the great character that he is. And that's why we're here today. So if you guys liked what you watched today, we're going to be having a lot more episodes. We have some lined up, but we'd like for you to subscribe, follow, engage with in the comments, create a community, talk to each other, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.